Howdy everyone, and welcome back to Runt9 Plays DemonCrawl. So in the last episode, we unlocked quest number 2 as well as the wizard, and I started recording a little bit, realized that I needed to take a break from recording for a bit before I started in, and I did a little bit of playing through quest 2, warming up, kind of getting back into the swing of things, because it's been a few days since I recorded some DemonCrawl. So hopefully we're ready to go and can actually perform halfway decent on this one. We're looking at a 1-2. Actually a 1-1. This one's gonna be clear, and same thing here, this one's gonna be clear. Obviously that means that there's one in one of those two and one in one of those two. Not a lot of information can be gleaned here. I'm gonna go ahead and try to pop into another corner. Fortunately that helped greatly. Reduce the selected stage's monster count by 5 is actually pretty decent. I do not hate that at all. Alright. So this is actually slightly difficult. Might end up having to take some guesses on this one. Let's grab bottom left. We've got a 1-1, so that actually means that neither of these are monsters because it had to be one of those two. Means we are going to end up coming down to a 50-50 more than likely, unless we can solve this too at some point. Looking at this, there has to be one in one of these two, which will work with the 3, but there can't be 2. He's only touching 1, so this has to be a monster, which I believe fills out everything else. There we go. Easy enough. Moving on to the next stage. So solid puzzling things out there. I just had some tea. I'm recaffeinated, refocused. My brain is operating at peak efficiency. We literally started this one exactly the same way. What that means is that each of those are safe. So with these, we don't have any more guarantees, so I'm going to pop a corner. Ended up being just fine. We've got a 1 and a 2. That means there's definitely one there, which is actually not the case because that's touching 1. Simple mistake. Something that I've made a million times at this point. So we're looking at a 1-2-2 right there. There has to be one in one of those 3. Has to be 2 in those 3. Which means one of these is populated. Which means that's going to satisfy that one, which means that one is not a monster. With the 3, 2 of these have to be filled. Could certainly be there and there. It could also be there and there. We actually have some more guarantees up here, so how about we go knock those out instead of focusing on something that we can't control at the moment. It looks like we're going to end up probably down to a 50-50 up there. Alright, looking to see if there is anything that we do know for sure. We're going to have one in one of those 3. It could be right there, and I think that it's highly likely to be right there, but I'm not going to take that chance. Let's pop bottom left. Okay, didn't help us here. I'm feeling like, of all things, it's not going to be right there. And what else can we maybe guess at here that feels like a safe guess? I mean, it really would make sense to me for it to be here, but also I could see right there as well, and, you know, like that. So just trying to continue puzzling things out a little bit. So with the 2, I think it's unlikely to be here. Yeah, you know what? I'm just trying to piece the things together. All right, we are clear of the monsters down there. So we can at least make some progress, but not exactly the type of progress we want to be making. You don't want to be losing that much life this early on. So we're looking at a 1, which actually means that that is clear. Means that both of those are monsters. All right, this has ended up being a pretty rough start for us. We are able to finish things off down in the bottom right corner, and then this is just like a huge mess up here. Do we have any patterns we can work with? I think each of these is down to 1 at the moment. That's down to 1, those are 1s. Those are each 1s. There are 3 monsters left. One of them is up here, one of them is up there. So only one of these is a monster. And the only one that's going to satisfy all 3 well, I think that's the only one that satisfies all 5 requirements, which does give us what we need in order to complete the level. So again, we took some damage there, but we are still alive, and that is what matters. Going into the next level. Hopefully we get a little bit luckier with the spawns on this one. No such luck. Well, with this, there's going to be 1 in one of those 2 and 1 in one of those 2, which definitely means that that one is safe. It is entirely possible that neither of these 2 are monsters, but I would find it kind of unlikely. So let's leave it like that for the moment and kind of come back to it. You got a 1-2-1. It's never failed me, so I'm gonna keep doing it. We did pick up a heart, fortunately enough for us. You've got a 1-2-2-3. I can almost guarantee, or that's actually 2. I can almost guarantee that'll end up being a 1, and it's gonna be right there. That's not the case though. Totally fine, you know. It is a little bit harder than Quest 1. It starts off more difficult right out of the gate. Not by a lot, but just enough to be noticeable is what I would say. So we did have that right, but it definitely wasn't a guarantee. It was a gut feeling, and so it wasn't worth the risk once we got one part of the guessing done. That's good there. We got a chest. Just money, but just money is still okay. We finished up this stage. No more hearts. So we walked in and walked out with the same amount of HP because we took 1 damage, but did get hit once. So we could go to the altar. Let's head up here first and see what we got. We could get 3 max HP. If you lose this item, you also lose 5 lives. Honestly, totally cool with that one. Next time you would lose lives, lose triple the amount and lose this item. Targeted magic items affect random cells. Well, at the moment, we don't have targeted magic items, and so we just avoid picking them up, and if we do pick any up, just don't use them. That puts us at 11 max HP. I'm pretty good with that. And so this item shop is guaranteed to have magic items only because we're a wizard. They could be targeted magic items, but that's totally fine. We just won't pick those up. Burn all visible monsters, 50% chance to steal the selected shop item and make a clean escape. Spend coins to order a random item. After 10 turns, the item is added to your inventory. I don't know how many coins that's gonna require, but I'm actually okay with seeing what happens there. And so we picked up 2 omens that really aren't that bad for us at all. to be completely honest with you. So we know with a 1 and a 1, that's always going to be safe, which means that those two must be monsters, and we can get a lot off of that. That's a great start on what is ultimately a fairly difficult level. We actually forgot to lower the monster count by 5 as well. Once again, we got a 1-1. We know that's going to be safe. Well, we had a 1-2-1, actually. A lot of progress can be made pretty quickly here. You love to see it. Now, I can almost guarantee you that it's going to slow down here in just a few moments, but I will gladly take the speed while I can. So we probably should have used Postbox. We spent 21 coins. So it is just, it picks a random item and then you just buy it, it seems like. Okay, we do have that 1, which puts the 2 in place. That does actually fill out this 3. Now I think is the point where we slow down a bit. No, that actually is a guarantee 3 there. We can keep going. You love to see it. Codex updated. So we have grabbed magic items will trigger an extra time. So I believe that means that this will now reduce stage's monster count by 10, and that Postbox will trigger twice. That seems quite good. So there are 3 monsters left up here. This is a 1 and a 1. There has to be 1 in one of these 2 squares, which clears that one up. We end up in the same situation here. Oh, that one was already open. Okay, yeah, we're good. Isn't that everything? Oh, not quite. So we managed to finish the stage in a pretty good time, actually. Didn't take any additional damage. Got a good item out of our post box. So there's another altar. And I am certainly okay taking a bit of a risk. I'm going to go ahead and use our lyre while I'm thinking about it. So it's at 23. Let's see if it reduces it to 13. It did, in fact, reduce it to 13. That combo is amazingly good. Stage contains toxic cells. I can't imagine that's going to be beneficial for us. Every 20 turns, convert all visible loot to omens. I don't think I like that. Monsters always deal max damage. If you take damage for the next 10 turns, any amount of damage will kill you. Oh, I think all of these are a little too spicy. I'm gonna go against taking any of those. So now there are only 13 monsters here, which seems like it's going to be very, very good for us. Whenever you discover a cell of value 6 or greater, gain 2 souls. I mean, that's an incredibly rare occurrence, but... Oh, crap. You begin coughing up blood. Every 60 turns, you lose 1 life. Alright, that was a big mistake. You cannot click on the toxic cells. It's just a force of habit, and that was a force of habit that could spell our doom. I can't automatically open the toxic cells. That can't possibly be right. Oh, we've already opened those. Never mind. Sorry about that. Okay. So, with this, that 2 is already touching 1, and there has to be 1 in one of those 2. Which means that that will clear the 3, which means neither of these are monsters. And I think this is going to come down to a couple 50-50s. I really want to see if there's a way to get rid of that poison. So I think we're just going to have to take some risks on this one. It's touching 3. There's only 2 more. And it can't be both of those, so there's definitely one there. And then I think this is just the 50-50, so you just take it and you move on. So if we are able to purge the poison, great. If not, oh well, you move on with your life. I'm actually going to save our coins for a little bit of post-box fun, potentially. Also, we cannot use the liar again. Whenever you make a mistake, increase the maximum power of all other stages. Every 50 cells you open without making a mistake, decrease the maximum power of all other stages. So we want to play very slow, very careful, because it has a chance to reduce the maximum power of other stages, and I am loving that thought. So this is basically a 1-1 that clears that one up, and then we can move forward from there. Now, at this point, I really wish that I had saved the liar for this stage. I have to keep reminding myself that there aren't any items I can use. So this is a 1, this is a 1, this is a 1, this is a 1. There is 1 in one of those 3, which is going to complete either the 2 or the 3. I don't know, dude. Give me a top right. Oh, good. We will be able to recover the life that we're going to lose here. And we know this one is free. And, okay. This is going to be a rough one. But I'm okay playing it a little bit slow and steady on this one. I'm going to take the gamble. That was a calculated gamble. I'm glad that it worked out for me, especially considering that if other stage max powers get increased, we're going to be in a really rough spot moving forward. So this has to be one of those 2, which will complete the 1, which actually clears up all 3 of those. I did that wrong. I did that the wrong way. Let's go ahead and heal the life. I right-clicked instead of left-clicked. Alright, well, that's that 2, that 1. Selling 31 mana. Not something I'm interested in at the moment. That's an omen. Coin drops are converted to monsters. Alright, you hate to see it. Post box is fully charged. Go ahead and pop that now. Spent 12 coins and spent 8 coins, so we are getting 2 items out of this deal. This is a 1, this is a 1, this is a 1, this is a 1. So we know for a fact one of these 2, so that's a clear one. Oops. Taking things fairly slow here. We got a peach and a wild bank. Heart drops are worth 1 extra life. When you complete a stage, gain 1 minion for every diamond or chest left behind. Well, I don't think we're going to be leaving many diamonds or chests behind at this point, but the peach definitely works out for us, so as long as we keep getting health drops. Again, just making sure that I can really focus in on this one. We're almost there. We need to come back down here, where dominance spreads through the land. That was a coin drop that got converted. So we have lowered the max power of all other stages. It is just max power, right? Yeah. Another coin drop got converted. We lost 1 life to poison. Don't grab the heart yet. Okay, now we grab the heart. We're good. So I think we're actually in an okay spot, even with the poison. It is only every 60 turns, which turns out to not be that much. Dungeon. So this is going to be 43 monsters. Our lyre is not recharged yet, unfortunately. It will be by the end of this one, though. So I mean, we make it that far. This is a 1-2. We don't have a guarantee on this one right now. But it means that one of these two is definitely a monster. Because there has to be one in one of these two. There is one in one of these two. I think it's highly likely that that one is. But we don't have a guarantee on it. I'm not going to take the risk. Let's just pop the top right. This is a 1 and a 1. So I'm pretty sure this means that this, and that are all clear. Yep, that's exactly what that means. That gets us moving a little bit. Slowly but surely. I'm not moving slowly, and don't call me Shirley. Alright. Trying to take a closer look at what we have here. There's no guarantees off of that one, much as I would love there to be. This is a 1, 2, 2. I don't know. I feel like there's got to be 2 right there, but I'm not going to take that risk. I think this is a pop the bottom right and the bottom left. Okay, well that didn't help us at all. So we are in thorough puzzling mode now. We know 2 of these 3 are going to be monsters. It would make sense if this was actually a 1-2-1 scenario and you reduce it down and say they're right there. So I'm going to pretend that there's a monster there. We're going to crack this one. Okay. You know what? Sometimes you just have to move forward. I am totally okay with the little bit of damage we took there. This might be an omen. It is another omen. You cannot find items worth more than 20 coins. Alright, we are getting absolutely just filled to the brim with omens. So if we manage to pull out a win here, it will be a legendary performance. So just focus in, play the game that you can actually play, and don't worry about, you know, hey, I gotta make some guesses and blah, blah, blah. Yes, sometimes you have to guess. But a lot of times you don't. Alright, one of those 2 is definitely a monster. That fulfills that one, that keeps that one open. Well, actually, we already knew from that one. One of those 2 is definitely a monster. And that's a 3. That means there's definitely one there. And one of those. Right there. Okay. 1, 1, 1. And obviously, yes, there it is in one of those 3. In fact, it's in one of those 2. Which clears up the 2, which means that one's safe. Alright, there are 20 monsters left. We are making progress. We have taken a little bit of damage. There's no consumables or anything that we can be making use of right now. It does not appear as if that's the case. We can actually push forward, though, if I actually just read what I've got and pay attention and take a second. Definitely am making some mistakes, but I'm clearing them up a little bit by a little bit. That gets us to 10. We'll save the heart until the poison ticks in a moment. Gain 100 mana and lose 1 life. You know, that's not the worst thing in the world. It will give us 200 mana and lose 2 lives, but considering that the Liar is going to tick twice, I'm going to say that's probably going to be worth it. I lose 1 life to poison. We pop the heart. We're good to go. Post box is fully charged. Send it. Spent 8 coins, spent 6 coins. Totally cool with me. Probably going to get some mediocre items, but we're still going to get 2 items that are actually positive. The combo there with post box plus the doubling down on items thing seems like a really good combo. So we got a Forge Hammer, fortify your leftmost armor. We don't have any armor. Non-omen items from chests will drop on the ground. Okay. I think that means that we'll have a guaranteed way to not have to pick up omens anymore. We are able to finally clear out the top part. So down here, there's only 2 monsters left. That pretty much means that it has to be 1 right there and then 1 somewhere in one of these 4. And by that I mean in one of these 2. But I'm pretty sure that the only way that these 3 work is that. And it has to be right there. Oh, baby, we made it. And we're still at max HP. The dream is alive. So the question here, we are we are 21 turns away from popping Liar, and I would love to be able to use it on this one to cut those 52 monsters down to 42. Especially considering the max power is 6 on that. Lose 2 life to fully charge this is basically what that reads. I just don't think it's worth it. No, it is. It is. We aren't going to pop post box right now. Unfortunately, the only way that we can pick up money is via diamonds. So we did drop this down to 42 monsters. I think that'll help. There's a mollusk right out of the gate. Okay. That 2 is good. That 1 is open. Yeah, the whole not being able to get coins anymore is a really, really bad situation for us, considering that one of our main abilities that has been putting in a huge amount of work for us is that post box combo, being able to use post box twice. So this is a 1-1. So one of these 2 clears up the 3. That means that one is safe. Okay. And then one of these 2, which means that it's not that one. When you enter a stage, reduce the max power by 1. If you have a legendary item, cut the max power in half instead. Okay. Blood magic is fully charged. Don't particularly care. The lowered monster count is definitely helping. You can just see how much more is opening up when we click stuff. It is making a very, very large difference. That gets us back to max HP. You can tell I'm getting really focused in because like this run is super spicy, but it's also working for us. There's a diamond. That's the only way that we can get cash at this point. But we have to hope to see more diamonds than just the one, is the only thing. Alright, I think that clears up everything except over here. And so we are only in the bottom right now. Yes. So let's start puzzling this out. This is a 1. This is a 2 still. This one we don't really know. I mean, obviously it's a 2, but there are 2 in these 3. Which means that one of these is filled. That would fulfill this 2, which means that that is a safe spot. So of those 5, 3 of them are monsters. Okay, we gotta take a second here. Actually, no, we don't. That clears that up. That clears that up. All right, this 4, only one of these is a monster. Do we have anything up here we can do? Okay, so the thing is, one of those is a monster for sure. That's going to fulfill the one. That opens that one up. All right, just keep playing slow, steady, smart. 3 S's. Slow, steady, and smart. And that's how you beat DemonCrawl. One of those 2 is definitely a monster. Don't know which one. But the thing is, I'm feeling very hopeful that one of these 2 is a monster and that covers the one. I'm gonna click here. It's spicy. We might lose some life. We're good. That would have been a coin. I think that I'm perfectly happy opening that one up and this one up as well. Yes. That narrows this down a bit because only one of these, and the only one that's going to satisfy all of these restrictions is that right there. Ladies and gentlemen, I must be like one of the best DemonCrawl players in the history of mankind. Obviously being facetious. Okay, so one of those is definitely a monster. Which means that that's going to fulfill part of the 2, and that means that one has to be a monster. That gets us moving. Oh. I can feel it. I can feel it in my bones. So one of those 2 is definitely a monster. That means for the 4, that one has to be one. For the 3, the 4, one of those, and that fulfills the 3. That means that one's not. That 3 is open. Oh, look at the progress. Oh my goodness. Did we have any other hearts on the ground? No. I'm gonna pop blood magic again, and we're gonna use the liar on the next stage. We're not gonna hit the shop. We're gonna go right into the haunted toxic tribe. Gain an omen whenever a monster is revealed. Okay, I think this is the run killer, because I'm pretty sure that the way this interacts is that a monster is going to get revealed every time a coin would spawn, and that means we're going to gain an omen every time a coin would spawn. Plus there's toxic cells. So we just kind of have to YOLO, try as hard as we can, bring that down to 51 monsters, and just hope and pray. So it has reduced the max power by 1. Yep, that every single time a coin would drop, we're gaining an omen. If you take damage for the next 10 turns, any amount of damage will kill you. Jeez, dude. That's just incredibly bad for us. I cannot put into words how much that hurts me on a physical level right now. So I'm just gonna do whatever I can to push through. There's another omen. If you use a magic item, you lose that item. Bruh. Alright, I think this is where the run is going to end, but honestly, I'm just gonna keep playing Minesweeper. We might still get there. Even with this stupidity. This awful, awful set of luck. And it's funny, because like, with the post box and everything, I was saying how lucky this run is. This is a 1-2-1, that's a guarantee there. That's good there.
Hello.
Selling 3 mana. Unfortunately, 3 mana doesn't do me a lot of good right now. That one's gonna be clean. You know, this one is fair. All right, can we work our way back up here? This is a 1-2-1. We lose a life to poison. I'm not saying it's over, but I'm not saying it either. I'm just trying to figure out what moves we can make that make sense here. You know, this one's going to be open. That covers that. So that one, we can now click there. That gets the 3. We can keep pushing. There's a diamond. I'm not popping the post box with this few coins. Just doesn't seem like it's worth it, so that's actually good. That 3 means one of those 2 is 1. That frees that one up. Doing this without clicking on the cells out of habit is the only difficult part of... That's a 1-2-1, brother. Hold on. No, it wasn't. That was a 1-1. I got so lucky. Don't even talk to me about how lucky that one was. In fact, undo that entirely and just click on this one. The diamond is on a toxic cell. We'll have to see just how valuable that diamond is to us. All right. Stages have 2 cursed cells for each of your omens. Monsters are empowered by empty cursed cells. I just can't see a win coming out of this run at this point. There are so many omens on us, brother. That's gonna fill that one, so that one's good. I think it's gonna be right there. Honestly, at this point, just send it. Like, I know I shouldn't give up, and I'm not giving up, but I also realize this is taking a while to get to what is probably a pretty inevitable end. That's fine. That's fine. I'll take the L on this one. This was a longer episode, but I feel like we moved the needle a little bit, getting better at the patterns. We had a pretty good run going until we just got swamped by the omens. But for now, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the episode, let me know your feedback, likes, dislikes, comments, all that good stuff. Also find me at Runt9Plays on Twitter. In addition, I'm streaming every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time over on twitch.tv/Runt9Plays. But until the next episode, I'm Runt9, and I will see you later.